Hello and welcome back to BannerKings, and we're actually in another battle because that's what we're doing right now. That is what we're doing. Obviously, if we do get the opportunity to attack some caravans, then obviously I'm going to be selling the trade goods from that, and that is actually very lucrative in itself. However, I want to try to keep my mercenary contract rolling at the moment because this is really very, very nice right now. And also, we do get to level up our combat skills. So in the previous episode, if you missed that, I actually did upgrade my armor to a significant height. So much so that I think I'm probably, okay, wait. I might be jinxing myself right here. I might actually be cursing it so badly that I am gonna die. But I'm just gonna say it nevertheless, because let's not believe in that, okay? Let's not believe in that right now. But I'm just gonna say it. I might be unkillable in normal situations. There you go. I added a little, you know, a little determiner there. You know, just a little modifier, I suppose you could call it. Because basically, if I take very little glancing damage from a variety of sources, like for example, like this, I think I could probably die if I run into the entirety of these troops, and I think I could probably die if I take a headshot or two or three from these archers and things. Then that's obviously going to be a problem. But in general, I actually feel like I am very, very difficult to kill now, mostly because of this really nice armor that we've got on ourselves, and it looks great too. It's golden. You know, it's golden all over, which is really, really nice. And it's funny, actually, because I said, yes, I feel like I'm unkillable. And then as soon as I say that, boom, I just take massive damage. Yep. There you go. You know, that happens. That happens. A 7 damage headshot? Are you serious? Did you see that? Yeah, obviously piercing damage is really, really strong. So that's the reason why I'm taking massive damage right here, because I'm literally running into spears, which is not good. Not a good idea. That is not recommended. But definitely something that I do, because I am so good at this game that I literally just run into every single kind of damage, as you may know. You know? That's exactly what I do. And it's to make everyone else feel better, obviously, you know? It's to make everyone else feel better, because you know how it is. If I am getting in everyone's pants to get their money, then, you know, I have to have some downsides, right? I have to have some downsides, and that's exactly the reason why every single time I run in and die, that's scripted. You know that, right? That's absolutely 100% scripted. The lords that are ruling over my domain, they tell me, they say, hey, you should run in there and just die so that everyone else can feel really good. You know, that's exactly what's happening here. And these lords, they're constantly whispering, you know, they're constantly whispering to me and being like, whoa, that is exactly what you should do right now. And that's why I do it, you know, that's why I do it. And yeah, there you go. There's a nice little explanation for you there, because that makes every single thing so much better. You know, if you can blame it on some external source, that is exactly what you want to do. Nothing to do with anything else. All right, so that is it. That is a wonderful victory for us right there. And we managed to get 32 influence. Insane amounts of influence right there too. Okay, look at that. 30% mercenary reputation. We can let these guys go. And yeah, we can obviously take all of them prisoner. These are all the companions that these guys are using, which is actually super funny too. I find it actually very cool that the enemy lords end up using their own companions. Or at least that seems to be the case. Now, what I'm actually very much wanting to do still is find a new spear. I know, I did equip one in a previous episode, but I am still not really happy with it. I feel like maybe maybe what I should do is use a lance. Should I use a lance instead? I kind of feel like maybe a lance would be better. Because if I use a lance, it might make me level up polearms quicker, because we are using it under a, shall we say, increased speed variant. Because as it stands right now, I'm not really aiming for speed that much. I am aiming for speed, but obviously I'm mostly aiming for weak spots so that I can do as much damage as possible. We finally did reach 100 polearms, which is hilarious. And yeah, look at this. Hard knock. 25% chance of knocking the enemy down with a heavy hit. That is obviously what we're going to go for. There you go. And we also gain +3 hit points to infantry in your party. Now, you may think, oh, 3 hit points, that's absolute garbage, isn't it? Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, that's the bottom line. I'm going to be very honest when it comes to the perks in this game. And that's the thing. This is garbage by itself. But, and now think about this, okay? Think about this. There are many, many other perks in the game that actually provide you with significant benefits to your troops' HP. Most notably, this one. Obviously, this is the most notable. As I just said, this is the most notable one. This is the most important one. This is the most powerful one. But there are others as well. I just don't really want to go through every single perk tree right now. But what I'm saying is, if you have this, as well as the thing that I just got, as well as the thing that is, I think, here somewhere, I think there's something like that here in the, yeah, there it is, +10 hit points to infantry in your party. If you get all of these, you will turn your infantry into absolute monsters of HP. They will be almost, well, they won't be unkillable, but they will be very, very hard to kill in those situations. So that's the reason why, you know, these perks individually are terrible, but, you know, together they are much better. But I guess that is the case with pretty much everything. So, you know, it's the thing. If you take a look at it separately, then obviously that is, you know, if you look at it separately, then you may as well just go, yeah, you know what, this perk is terrible. But if you look at it all together, and then you take it as like a package deal, then obviously that makes a difference. Okay, so I'm actually just going to go into a battle against these guys here. If I can, I wouldn't mind auto-resolving against them. There we go. Oh, actually, you know what? I cannot auto-resolve. Okay, I was thinking that this was going to be super, super easy, but apparently not. So we're going to have to go into the battle with them. This is actually something I wanted to try to avoid. I would have preferred to have an auto-resolve at this point. Actually, you know what? Maybe I could have auto-resolved. It felt to me like on the world map we were having more difficulties, but when we actually get into the battle, it feels like the combat advantage is firmly in our camp. So that is a little bit strange to me, but oh well. I guess it doesn't really matter too much, because we are actually going to absolutely massacre these guys, or at least I hope so. Now, this is the main problem here, okay? The main problem here is this map. This map is going to be a bit difficult for our cavalry to navigate, and it's also going to be difficult for me as well, because the enemy is going to mostly stay on one side of this hill. Ooh, now that was a nice hit. Did you see that? That was an absolutely amazing hit from one of our privateers there, or whoever it was. I actually have no idea which unit it was, but that was amazing. Did so much AoE damage there. Very, very cool to see that, actually. Kind of makes me think maybe we want to buy, well, should we say, recruit more of those troops. It feels like a bit of a waste not to use them, right? But the problem is I have to go all the way back there, and that's kind of annoying, isn't it? Yeah, that is kind of annoying. I actually really liked fighting against the Sturgeons. Maybe we should go back there, because we are still technically at war against them. It's actually quite funny that the faction that we're currently a mercenary of is still at war against multiple targets. I'm not entirely sure what they've done to annoy everyone, but they definitely have. And yeah, I think it would be pretty cool to actually go over to Surgeon territory again, because I actually quite like fighting in the snow. You know, even though they have an overwhelming advantage, you know, with their speed bonuses and so on and so forth, it's still gonna be fun, you know? It's still gonna be fun to fight in the snow. Anyway, yeah, just gonna let them go. Gonna take all these guys prisoner, of course, as you might expect. And there we have it. Okay. Yeah, I actually do not have any space to take any prisoners, so I'm just gonna leave them, and we'll just take the loot. Because obviously, as we've seen, prisoners don't really provide us with that much at all. They do provide us with a little bit of cash. But apart from that, they don't really give us roguery skill or anything like that, which is kind of sad. And my focus points are not coming as fast as I would like. I'm leveling quite slowly at this point, which is not great. I actually don't know why, because I am using my polearm almost all the time. I'm using thrown weapons as well. I don't know whether you noticed in that battle as well, by the way, I actually hit a shield. I hit a shield with one of my thrown weapons, and I gained a skill immediately. I gained a skill point immediately. So that, again, kind of compounds the fact that I believe that when you actually get blocked, or when you do a block or something like that, it feels like you gain more skill from that, which is a bit weird to me. I think that's a bit strange, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna be... Ooh, that looks like a nice shield. Oh yeah, that's... Oh yeah. That's much better. Okay, I like that. I like that. That's much better than what I was using beforehand. And okay, this is my favorite polearm in the whole game, mostly because it is just great. There you go. That's my... that's my argument on that. That's my argument on that. Okay, I'm going to use this. It's a light version of it. I don't know if it's going to be any better than what we were currently using, but oh. Never mind. I can't use it. It is not equipable on a horse. Yeah, it's not equipable on a horse. That's fantastic. Ah, great. Okay, well, never mind then. Oh, that is so sad. Okay, well, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use a Masterwork Imperial Iron Spear now, I guess. No, I'm going to use the Steel Spear because it has more handling. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to see how that goes. Maybe that's going to be good. And then apart from that, do I have anything to sell? Yeah, I have a couple of... As you can see, cows are literally still selling for a huge amount here, which is really, really nice. You can sell the quality tools, the marble, crude fur, fine pottery, all that wonderful stuff. And we can also sell the fine grain here as well, because obviously most grain you could probably buy for about 6 or 7 gold per one. So being able to sell it for 27 is actually kind of crazy. And if I was still trading primarily, what I would do right now with Lycaron is I would literally just go and buy as many cows as possible. That is literally it. Just go and buy as many cows as possible from a nearby village or a nearby town. You know what? Let's actually just test that out real quick, because I wouldn't mind being able to take advantage of how much cash they actually have in the marketplace, because you saw how much they had there. They had like what, 960,000 or something like that. So it would be pretty amazing if we could, you know, get a little bit of that pie, you know, that'd be pretty nice, but highly unlikely that there's going to be any cows here. Yep, as you can see, no cows. Yeah, it's probably going to not be worth it at this point, because I have to walk so far. And I'm actually wondering, where are cows? Because I know that there's a village here, but that's an enemy village, which is really not going to make any difference. That doesn't really do much for me. I guess I'm going to go down to Vostrum, and I'm going to see if that actually makes a difference, but highly unlikely. I actually really like the fact that there are so many heroes on the map as well, because as you know, as I said before, they are going to be part of enemy vassals' armies. And that makes a huge difference to the overall feeling of the game as well, because it basically makes it so that you're seeing these things happen and you're like, oh, they've got companions too. That's so cool, because that basically, you know, it improves the feeling that you're not the main character, as it were. You know what I mean? Because obviously if you're playing a game like, I don't know, I'm just going to name some random game right now. If you're playing a game like, I don't know, Resident Evil or God of War, or you know, something single player like that, where you're the main character. It's very clear that you're the main character, you know. And if you're playing that, then obviously things are going to be a little bit more to do with your own power as a player. But when it comes to Bannerlord and when it comes to these kinds of simulations, you don't really want to be the one that only has access to those things, right? You know, you want to have the same access to everything else that everyone else has access to, and vice versa. Because obviously, as it stands beforehand in the base game, you do not have the ability to see vassals running around with their own companions. But with this mod, they do. And I think that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a great deal. Okay, so we made peace with the Saddlery. I don't actually know what the Saddlery even did this entire time. I felt like they were basically useless. I felt like they didn't do anything at all, but let me actually just take a quick look. No, they seem to have done absolutely nothing. They took Terrae Castle, and that seems to be it. Bit of a weird, I guess, bit of a weird situation, bit of a weird decision to make there, but I guess who am I to say, right? I'm just some random mercenary running around looking for people's pants, and that's it. Alright, so we've leveled up to 20, and because this is such a significant milestone, apparently according to BannerKings, we've gained 2 focus points and 1 attribute point. So what are we going to do with this? Well, from my perspective, I would probably like to go for a point in Vigor, even though I personally would prefer to go for Cunning, because clearly, you know, I'm a big fan of, you know, getting some more roguery skill and stuff, but we already have quite a decent learning rate here. My learning rate on polearms is okay, but it could obviously be better. My learning rate on one-handed is also fine, you know, not too bad. But there are so many other things that I could potentially do here. It's actually kind of annoying. I don't have enough points to really take everything, but obviously that's the thing. If you think about it from a realistic perspective, obviously you can't master everything in life most of the time. However, I'm not actually trying to do that. I'm trying to focus on scouting, roguery, polearms, one-handed, and maybe trade and a little bit of scholarship. And that's it. Maybe athletics a little bit as well, but that's it. And then we also have the things that we're not focusing on, which is charm, steward, medicine, leadership. Leadership is actually something that I do want to spec into. Maybe I should actually put 1 focus point in that. Let's put 1 focus point in that. Let's take a look at my decisions, actually my education here, because now we can actually invest a focus point in this. And that's exactly what we're going to do. There we go. We've received the local connections point. And so we now have the ability to start progressing. And this is going to enable us to hopefully then get Ransacker, which is going to make things even easier for us. Or at least I hope so. So we still have 1 focus point to spend. So do I keep the focus point or do I spend it? Now that's the hard part. I don't know, because I'm thinking right now that if I spec into roguery skill, is that actually going to help me? Because from a perk perspective, it's not going to help me in the least. I mean, yeah, sure, there is something later on that is going to help me quite a bit. I think... where is that actually? Yeah, I actually don't see that right now, but yeah, this thing. Smuggler Connections. This is going to be very, very helpful. But only if you know, only if you do that. So it's, I don't know, only if you get a crime rating, that is. Okay, so writing skill, I guess. Yeah. Yep, riding skill and endurance. That's what I have to do, I think. Don't really want to do that, but I kind of have to. Anyway, we're in Vlandian territory. Yes, we're in Vlandian territory, and we're actually going to be fighting a huge amount of Vlandian vassals. And look at this guy. He's in his pants already. Wow, look at that. He is literally waiting for us right now. All he needs to do is bend over, and we will actually make sure that he loses all of his money. That is all we need, you know? That is absolutely all we need. All right, so I don't need to level up anymore. Let's do this. All right. I am very well prepared for this. I didn't even take a look at his army. Ah, see, that was his plan all along. Coming to us without any armor on. He knows that we were significantly distracted. I'm pretty sure that you were distracted, right? I'm pretty sure. Because, let's face it, one really cannot resist. You know, when you see a man like that, come on now. Come on now, don't lie. It's all good. It's all fine. Anyway, we are otherwise actually maybe going to have a bit of a problem here. He does outnumber us. They do have a couple of cataphract units as well. Yeah, maybe this is going to be a bit of a problem. Maybe it's going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to tell my... Yeah, no, my infantry is actually doing a good thing right now. I was going to tell them to go over here anyway, so it's nice to see that the auto-delegate is just doing that. Basically, what I do now when we start a battle is I just do an auto-delegate to start off, and then I will take command of them if I feel like they're not doing the thing that I want them to do. Ooh, this is a nice spear. I actually like this spear quite a bit more now. This is a new one that we're using, by the way, so this is going to be... Oh, yeah, this is actually quite nice. I like it. Yeah, maybe... Okay, fine. Maybe it's going to be better than what I think. It's got a good reach on it. So that's the thing that I'm really looking forward to at this point. My forces are still just standing back there, which is obviously fine. And hopefully my forces will not run in randomly and get themselves killed. The guy literally just died now, the guy that was naked at the start. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I mean, really, running into a battle without any armor on, I mean, you know, I don't blame him, to be honest, though, to be honest. It's just, you know, honestly, one of the best ways that you can distract your opponent, you know. I mean, how do you explain every single, you know, I'm not even going to go there. All right, I'm not even going to go there. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Otherwise, we are actually doing some pretty good damage. Not bad, and we are leveling up our riding skill now as well, which is pretty good because obviously we were starting to get a little bit capped on that, and I did not really appreciate it. But we can do some nice damage here by running these guys down, and yeah, it's actually not going terribly at all, and this is actually what's super funny about this as well. I feel like my forces just play super defensively, and I mean, you can see here, look at my archers. They are being completely unassaulted. And the enemy's archers, on the other hand, they're always being assaulted by me and a number of our cavalry as well, and it's splitting their damage. Even if they don't get killed by us, they are distracted. And they are splitting their damage between the front line, where they actually have to focus it, and the various people that are harassing them at the moment. And that makes a huge difference to our overall chances of victory, because the archers are going to do so much damage. They do piercing damage, of course, as you might expect. Arrows are, of course, going to do piercing damage, and they're probably going to be really, really powerful if they're left alone. Well, that's only from my limited experience, because I obviously have no idea how much they're going to do, but that's the only thing I can really come up with here. Look at that, 54 influence. Look at that, 54 influence. Actually insane. And otherwise, we got 71 leadership now. I still feel like I should have probably leveled up leadership too. I feel like it's kind of sad that we weren't able to, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, it seems like most of the Vlandians are actually naked. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Because I did install every single mod, but I'm going to assume that there is a mod that is missing or a mod that is not working correctly, because otherwise we wouldn't be seeing them like that. So I don't really want to mess with it. I don't really want to mess with it because otherwise I'm gonna then not have them, not have the mod even launch, and then I'm gonna have a corrupted game save, and then we're gonna have to end the series, and I don't really want to do that. So I guess we're just gonna have to deal with the Vlandians being a little bit. Are they actually Vlandians or are they actually Swadians? By the way, I'm not entirely sure at this point. Well, this guy has certainly gone to the gym many, many times, hasn't he? Yes, yes. Yeah, let's not even go there, shall we? Let's not even go there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to attack these guys too. Basically, all I'm trying to do right now is I am trying to weaken the opponents that our faction decides to declare war on, or the ones that, decide to attack us. Because if we do this... And this is where, obviously, I guess this is where you could potentially call this grand strategy, because, as I was talking about previously, I don't know whether you can call this grand strategy, but I guess in these kinds of cases, you might call it that from this perspective. Because if you have a situation where the player can directly influence, events to happen in a certain way, then, maybe that's a strategy, maybe that's the strategy that you might want to go for, because obviously the fact is, at this point, I am currently doing this damage because I want to weaken them so that my own faction doesn't have so many issues dealing with them on a larger scale. Nice headshot right there. Nice headshot. Can I get some more, though? That's the question. No. No. No, they've all got shields up. They've all got shields up. Okay, yeah. Redirect power to deflectors. Yes, that is what we should indeed do at some point. Yeah. Star Trek, all that. Okay, so yeah, anyway, the point is, we will hopefully be able to do this. They are indeed Swadians. And Rhodoks? Ah, okay. So in BannerKings, it seems like what they've done is they've merged the Rhodoks and the Swadians together, because basically that, I believe, is where the Vlandians go. Because according to the Calradian lore and stuff like that, that's actually what tends to happen in the future. Because Bannerlord is technically, as far as I remember, is technically set before Warband. I think it's like 800 years before Warband or something like that. I don't know, I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on it. But as far as I'm aware, that is what it is. And so basically, the Vlandians are going to split into two factions, and they inevitably become the Swadians and the Rhodoks. And I'm assuming that BannerKings is doing like a kind of a hybridization of those two things, and doing a preliminary... what would these factions look like kind of deal. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that actually is pretty cool. So I like that. And otherwise, yeah, we're leveling up our polearms pretty nicely. My riding skill is actually leveling up nicely too. I'm actually wondering if running people down with my horse is leveling up my riding skill faster than anything else. I actually wondered if it does level them up at all. I'm not entirely sure, actually. I don't know, but these guys are really heavily armored, so it's actually more difficult to do damage to them now. But anyway, there you go. Nice victory for us right there. 50 influence. Look at that. 50 influence. That is exactly what we like. We like that every single day of the week. And we're going to be able to earn huge amounts of relation with a lot of people here as well. Unfortunately, massive amounts of prisoners, which we will not be able to take. So, gonna have to just take all of these, and that's it. That's all I can take, unfortunately. Really wish I could take more, but I cannot. Now, funnily enough, it looks as though my clan tier has actually advanced. I did not even realize that, and so as a result, I now have even more troop capacity. So that means I should probably be going immediately to the nearby villages and things like that, and actually recruiting some people. Because that is what is actually going to directly translate into more cash. Because we need as much cash as possible. I think I might even be able to marry someone at this point. Maybe. Maybe I can marry someone at this point, because I have 460,000. And we're gaining... Oh, look at how many... Oh, yes. Look at that. I literally just spent 22,000 on troops. 22,000. Again, the reason why I focused so heavily on trade in the beginning, because I wanted to try and earn as much money as possible, and we didn't really have the troops to be able to enter battles as much as I would have wanted to. But that is insane, spending that much cash on troops. Wow. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter. We're still gaining 5,000 every single day, and that's exactly what we love. Thank you. And my caravan and party income is 727. So my caravan is actually doing something? Is my caravan actually doing something now? Apparently it is. That's weird, because it wasn't doing anything before. That's really, really strange. Oh well, never mind. Okay, yeah, I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to be very overjoyed at that. And, yeah. We're going to take a look and see exactly. Yep, we got to clan tier 2. Look at that. We got to clan tier 2. Now all we need is another 500 renown to get to clan tier 3. And then we'll be in an even better position. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.